Jai Saparikashi Shri Guru Gaur Chandraju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhanju Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Astatara Sata Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Astatara Sata Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Morning Class Dandavat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chata Parakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidangscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Haribo. Roberto, could you please hand me that cushion there? Just one, thank you. I have to put something under my knee. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai Srila Om Vishnupadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. This is Chaitanya Charitamrta, reading the 4th chapter of Adi Lila, which is the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance. So now we are beginning now to hear the explanation of the 6th verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrta.
In the 6th verse? In what text are we at?
Text 101.
Oh, 101. Okay.
Shastra Shlokera Artha Karite Prakasha Pratame Kahi Eshe Shlokera Abhasa. To explain the 6th verse, I shall first give a hint of its meaning. Avatari Prabhu Prachari La Sankirtana Eho Bahya Hetu Purve Kariyachi Shuchana. The Lord came to propagate Sankirtan. That is an external purpose, as I have already explained. We've heard much about this. Mahaprabhu always, the Yuga avatar of Kali Yuga comes to propagate Sankirtan. But in this Kali Yuga, the Lord is coming for a very much deeper purpose. Avatarera ara eka ache mukya bija rasika shekara krishnera sekarya nitya. There is a principal cause for Lord Krishna's appearance. It grows from his own engagements as the foremost enjoyer of loving exchanges. Ati kuddha hetu se trivida prakara damodara swarupa haite jahara prachara. That most confidential cause is threefold. Swarup Damodar has revealed it. So of course Mahaprabhu is Krishna, and he is coming in the Dwapara Yuga, in this Dwapara Yuga, to show the loving exchanges of Vrindavan, and in this Kali Yuga to show loving exchanges of Vrindavan, but in a completely different way, as Radha and Krishna combined. Swarupa Gosai Prabhura Ati Ataranga Tahate Janena Prabhura E Shaba Prasanga. Swarup Gosai is the most intimate associate of the Lord. He therefore knows all these topics well. Purport. Prior to the Lord's acceptance of the renounced order, Purushottam Bhattacharya, a resident of Navadvip, desired to enter into the renounced order of life. I'm going to test you guys on this. Therefore, he left home and went to Benares, where he accepted the position of a brahmachari from a Mayavadi sannyasi, because all the sannyasis were pretty much Mayavadis at that time. When he became a brahmachari, he was given the name Sri Damodar Swarup. He left Benares shortly after without taking sannyas, and he came to Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, where Lord Chaitanya was staying. He met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there and dedicated his life for the service of the Lord. He became Lord Chaitanya's secretary and constant companion. He used to enhance the pleasure potency of the Lord by singing appropriate songs, which were very much appreciated. Swarup Damodar could understand the secret mission of Lord Chaitanya, and it was by his grace only that all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya could know the real purpose of the Lord. Swarup Damodar has been identified as Lalita Devi, the second expansion of Radharani. However, text 160 of Kavi Karnapur's authoritative Gauraganodesha Deepika describes Swarup Damodar as the same Vishaka Devi who serves the Lord in Goloka Vrindavan. Therefore, it is to be understood that Sri Swarup Damodar is a direct expansion of Radharani, who helps the Lord experience the attitude of Radharani. So this is a little bit of history of Swarup Damodar, that he was living in Navadvip, and so he knew the Lord from childhood, and then he took the brahmachari name of Damodar Swarup in Benares and went to Puri and stayed with Mahaprabhu continuously after that. Text 106. Radhikara Bhava Murti Prabhura Antara Se Bhave Shuka Dukkha Utte Nirantara. The heart of Lord Chaitanya is the image of Radhika's emotions. Thus, feelings of pleasure and pain arise constantly therein. This is a very fine thing to understand. Anyway, Lord Chaitanya's heart was full of the feelings of Srimati Radharani, and his appearance resembled hers. Swarup Damodar has explained his attitude as Radha Bhava Murti, the attitude of Radharani. One who engages in sense gratification on the material platform can hardly understand Radha Bhava, but one who is freed from the demands of sense gratification can understand it. Means he has that possibility. Radha Bhava must be understood from the Goswamis, who are actually controllers of the senses. From such authorized sources, it is to be known that the attitude of Srimati Radharani is the highest perfection of conjugal love, which is the highest of the 5 transcendental mellows, and it is the complete perfection of love for Krishna. These transcendental affairs can be understood on 2 platforms. One is called elevated, and the other is called super elevated. The loving affairs exhibited in Dwarka are the elevated form. So there are the queens. They are all expansions of Srimati Radharani. But, and it is extremely elevated, but super elevated. The super elevated position is reached in the manifestations of the pastimes of Vrindavan. The attitude of Lord Chaitanya is certainly super elevated, From the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an intelligent person engaged in pure devotional service can understand that he always felt separation from Krishna within himself. In that separation, he sometimes felt that he had found Krishna and was enjoying the meeting. The significance of the separation and meeting is very specific. If someone tries to understand the exalted position of Lord Chaitanya without knowing this, he is sure to misunderstand it. One must first become fully self-realized. Otherwise, one may misidentify the Lord as Nagara, or the enjoyers of the damsels of Braja, thus committing the mistake of rasabhas, or overlapping understanding. Okay, anything to ask there? Any questions? Shesha Lilaya Prabhura Krishna Viraha Unmada Brahma Maya Chesta Ar Pralapa Maya Vada. In the final portion of his pastimes, Lord Chaitanya was obsessed with the madness of separation from Lord Krishna. He acted in erroneous ways and talked deliriously. So this is the stage of Mahaprabhu's divine appearance, where he was not really that overlapping of his duty of rescuing the souls of Kali Yuga. That overlapping became something deeply in the background. And in the foreground was his internal purpose. He wasn't really mixing with the public at that time. Lord Sri Chaitanya exhibited the highest stages of the feelings of a devotee in separation from the Lord. The exhibition was sublime because he was completely perfect in the feelings of separation. Materialists, however, cannot understand this. Sometimes materialistic scholars think he was diseased or crazy. Their problem is that they always engage in material sense gratification and can never understand the feelings of the devotees of the Lord, which are fully transcendental, heart-melting outpouring of actual devotion. That is not known even in the realm of the scriptures. What to speak of in the mind of ordinary persons. Materialists are most abominable in their ideas. They think that they can enjoy directly perceivable gross objects by their senses, and that they can similarly deal with the transcendental features of Lord Chaitanya. Do you understand that point?
I know. Can you explain it a little bit?
So Srila Prabhupada is saying that those senses by which we are misperceiving everything, those same senses in that condition cannot perceive the Lord. But there are many who read about the pastimes of the Lord think that they're the same as what they are observing in the mental plane. This is not. This is completely different. But the Lord is understood only in pursuance of the principles laid down by the Goswamis, headed by Swarup Damodar. Doctrines like those of the Nadia Nagaris, a class of so-called devotees, are never presented by authorized persons like Swarup Damodar or the 6 Goswamis. So this is all misconception. The ideas of the Gauranga Nagaris are simply a mental concoction, and they are completely on the mental platform. They're not on the divine platform, wherein the life of the Vaishnava, the life of the pure-hearted Vaishnava, is in full engagement and reciprocation with the Lord. That is not to be seen by mundane eyes or the mundane mind. Text 108. Radhikara bhava jaiche udavadarshane se bhave mata prabhu rahe ratri dine Just as Radhika went mad at the sight of Uddhava, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was obsessed day and night with the madness of separation. So seeing Uddhava actually looks like Krishna. And when Uddhava went to Vrindavan, the devotees, and specifically the Braja gopis and Radhika, they became overwhelmed with separation from Krishna. And in the same way, Mahaprabhu was always overwhelmed with that feeling of separation, which is intense union, more intense. Those under the shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can understand that his mode of worship of the Supreme Lord Krishna in separation is the real worship of the Lord. When the feelings of separation become very intense, one attains a stage of meeting Sri Krishna. So-called devotees like the Sahajiyas cheaply imagine that they are meeting Krishna in Vrindavan. Such thinking may be useful, but actually meeting Krishna is possible through the attitude of separation taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is applicable to us also, even though we are young practitioners. We are not trying to think of ourselves as having, but as hankering for that position of pure devotion. Not some external imaginary image of what that is, because we don't know what it is. We do hear about this, and we do worship this, but this feeling of that I am in the lower stage, and that is very, very good for us, very healthy and nourishing and wholesome, is a wholesome position for us. And we mustn't step over that at any time. What will come will come. But nobody in a higher position we're seeing has any conception of that being the case. So this is a whole different way of life. Very opposite, very opposite. Ratre pralapaka, opposite to mundane life. Ratre pralapakare swarupe rakantadari aveshe apana bhava kahaye ugadi. At night he talked incoherently in grief with his arms around Swarup Damodar's neck. He spoke out his heart in ecstatic inspiration. Jabi jai baba ute prabhura antara se giti shloke shuka dena damodara. Whenever a particular sentiment arose in his heart, Swarup Damodar satisfied him by singing songs or reciting verses of the same nature. So how much qualification is in Swarup Damodar? Ebe karya nahi kichu e shaba vichare age iha vivariba kariya vistare. To analyze these pastimes is not necessary now. Later I shall describe them in detail. Purve braje krishnera trividhavayo dharma kaumara poganda akaishora atimarma. Formerly in Braja, Lord Krishna displayed 3 ages, namely childhood, boyhood, and adolescence. His adolescence is especially significant. So in Vrindavan Lila, there is no grown-up Krishna. That is in Dwarka Lila. And that with queens, with his children, This is a particular rasa of the child of Krishna. That is not in Vrindavan Lila. Vrindavan Lila is so fine. Those kinds of relationships are not existing there. That is only in Dwarka. So adolescence is the supreme age of Krishna, where his supreme qualities are showing. And the supreme rasa of Madhura Rasa is there. But so more formal, the relationship between the sons of Krishna in Dwarka is formal. We can read some of the prayers of the sons of Krishna, or how they speak to the Lord is very beautiful and sweet, like with an enhancement of the mood of Vaikuntha. It's enhanced in Dwarka, where there is Krishna is someone's son, someone's father. It's deeper, but it's still that formality is there in Dwarka. But in Vrindavan, there is no formality, none whatsoever. That kind of Vatsalya aveshe kaila komara sapala poganda sapala kaila lanya shakavala. Parental affection made his childhood fruitful. That fruitful means that relationship, very beautiful. His boyhood was successful with his friends. Radhikadi Lanya Kaila Rasadi Vilasa Vanchabari Ashvadila Rasera Nirjasa. In youth he tasted the essence of rasa, fulfilling his desires in pastimes like the rasa dance with Srimati Radhika and the other gopis. Kaishora Vayase Kama Jagata Shakala Rasadi Lilayatina Karila Sapala. In his youth, Lord Krishna made all three of his ages and the entire universe successful by his pastimes of amorous love like the rasa dance. So why is the word successful used here? Can you think? What is the success of existence? The success of all existence is in our relationship with the absolute whole, the personality of Godhead. That is success. So everything is successful in Krishna, and nothing is successful outside of Krishna. So everything became successful. In the whole universe was blessed by these divine pastimes. Right? Are you guys hearing it? Okay. So Pika Shorakavayo Manayam Madhusudana Remestri Ratnakutasta Kshapasu Kshapitahita. Lord Madhusudan enjoyed his youth with pastimes on autumn nights in the midst of the jewel-like milkmaids. Thus he dispelled all the misfortunes of the world. I'll read that again. Lord Madhusudan enjoyed his youth with pastimes on autumn nights in the midst of the jewel-like milkmaids. Thus he dispelled all the misfortunes of the world. This verse is from the Vishnu Purana. Very beautiful. Thus he dispelled all the misfortunes of the world.
So the highest rasa is Krishna as an adolescent because he gets to play with the milkmaids and there's no formality.
No formality.
Vaikuntha is opulence, formality, kingship, parenthood, friendship, servanthood, right?
Well, no, in Vaikuntha, there, it is all almost completely the mood of service.
Okay.
I mean, service is, of course, everywhere.
Right.
But it very little bit of Sakya Ras.
Mm-hmm.
But Krishna in Vaikuntha, Krishna expands himself as Lord Narayan to reciprocate with those who want to worship him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Right.
So in Vaikuntha, that is the predominating atmosphere of worship of the Lord.
Right. Oh God. Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
And so beautiful.
Right.
As the Supreme Lord, he is supremely manifest in Vaikuntha.
Right. But in Goloka.
But beyond that is Dwarka.
Oh, okay.
And even Ayodhya. It is deeper because there is Vatsalya Ras there. There in Ayodhya, there is Dasharat and Mother Kausalya and Mother Kausalya, and these relationships. And then in Dwarka, those relationships are there a little more enhanced. And then beyond that is Mathura, which is finer. And beyond that, because Krishna takes birth in Mathura, not in Dwarka.
Right. He grows
So
up.
that Vatsalya Ras is much more developed.
Was parenthood, correct?
Like Ayodhya. What?
Vatsalya is parent?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Sorry, I got those two mixed up.
No, it's cool.
Dwarka and then, but the deeper relationships, but even in Mathura, when Krishna was born,
Right.
when he was born,
Right.
he, their prayers to him, the prayers being offered to Krishna is Krishna, Vishnu,
Right.
even by Devaki and Vasudeva, because they performed many, many austerities to get Krishna as their son, to get Vishnu as their son. So when Krishna appeared, when he appeared outside of the womb of Devaki, he's with full forearm form. So there's still that formality and knowledge of him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but it's mixed with parental feelings. Jai. Mahaprabhu, Jaya, Juki, Jai. So, but that is not there at all in Vrindavan. Not at all.
Vrindavan is super sweet. It's about no formality.
No knowledge.
None of it.
No
It's
knowledge of him.
He's not God. He's Krishna the sweet.
Yeah, Yashoda is complaining. She's saying, they're saying that Krishna is not my son, that he's the Supreme Lord. That is because they're envious of me because I have such a beautiful son. They're just making up all this nonsense, gossip.
Wow. Well, amazing. It's so crazy.
And she's after him with a stick.
Right.
You know.
She tries to tie him, and every time 2 fingers short.
Right.
Every time.
And she's like, she's not Om Namo Vasudevaya,
Right,
you know.
right.
She's like, you get over here.
Right. She tells him one time, "You eat, son, you're gonna die."
You're gonna die, right?
That's so fine, so sublime.
Very fine. So this type of devotion more self-giving, more just, it is a deeper thing, more heart-melting, not less heart. In this world, that is fully the opposite, more taking.
Right.
This is a full, inconceivable polar opposite of the manifestation of that, the reflection of that in this world. We have to keep that in mind always.
Yeah.
Because those great Goswamis who are so self-abnegation to the extreme, soft-hearted, beyond belief, they are worshiping those sentiments. So they would have nothing to do with such things in this world. It's like, ugh. Jai Shri Chaitanya Chaitanya ki Jai Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai Srila Om Vishnupadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Shri Upadesamrta ki Jai. So we're now reading the translation, the commentary by Srila Guru Maharaj on verse 11, which is Krishnasyo Chai Pranaya Pasati Preya Sibo Piratha Kundam Chasya Munibir Abhitasta Durgeva Vyadai Yapestar Apyalam Asulabam Kim Punar Bhakti Bhajam Tapreme Dam Sukrit Api Sharasnatura Vishkaroti. And the translation is, Sri Radha is the highest object of Sri Krishna's love, above all of his other lovers. And in all respect, her lake has also been established as such by the sages.
What page are you on? Sorry.
I'm reading the translation right now on page 291, but we are reading the commentary on page 320. So, this lake bestows upon those who bathe within it only once prema that is extremely difficult, even for those who are dear to Krishna to attain, let alone for practitioners of bhakti. So, page 320, the second paragraph. Jai Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, whose commentary we are reading right now, and Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. The Sahajiyas, the imitationists, think that they are already practicing that. So let's go back a little bit to the bottom of page 317.
317? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, sorry, I'm not 317, I got it wrong. 319. Loving regard is very precious. And when Guru Maharaj says love, he is talking about Mahaprabhu's distribution. What is he distributing? He's never referring to mundane love. Loving regard is very precious. It is extremely heart-melting. It is real. It is actual devotion, actual giving, actual dedication, full self-sacrifice, ready to do anything for the beloved. It's actual, real, and very heart-melting, very precious. It is not available anywhere and everywhere. It is not cheap. It is the highest thing, the highest wealth of our soul, which can attract Krishna towards us. Who is Krishna? What kind of heart is Krishna's? So sweet a heart, perfectly, wondrously loving. The epitome of love. So what kind of heart will attract him? Oh. What kind of quality would be so attractive to the Lord? He's not attracted by any junk. Love for Krishna is not so cheap that we will think, I've got that, I can take a bath regardfully, and then I won't get much devotion. I'll just jump into Radha Kunda with my body. Don't venture in this way. This is a strong warning to us, strong advice. Don't take these things so cheaply. Those who have it think they don't have it. It's so precious that those who have it feel the most separation from that.
Interesting. It's like the more you want to love Krishna, the more you will never have it.
Or you will,
per se, because the more separation you have, the more you have.
The hankering,
right,
is the goal.
It reminds me of Galatians and Paul in the Christian Bible. Paul says, "It's not that I have achieved anything; it's that I pursue."
What was that?
Paul in Galatians in the Bible, he says, He says, "I have not achieved it.
Don't hit your
I haven't achieved anything,
Yeah.
but I pursue Christ." He says, and Christ is Greek for Krishna.
Well, Christ, it's not Krishna, of course, we know that.
Well,
but I understand what you're saying.
Right.
There is a good parallel there,
Yes.
really. It's true. The dignified person is not feeling so dignified. That he's feeling, a dignity is measured in one's humility. But it has to be real humility. It's not the junk humility, that you can buy at Walmart for, 50% off. But that genuine humility of being in the proximity of something extraordinary, super wondrous, then naturally it inspires some humility. It's natural. That's a nice quote there. Don't venture in this way, or even Newton and Einstein. Those type of scientists are saying, I'm just coming to maybe I've picked up a piece of sand on the shore of knowledge. Then they have some actual appreciation. So what to speak of coming in some proximity to the absolute reality, the Supreme Lord, the epitome of all wonder and sweetness. He's not going to feel like, yeah, got that, tick, I got that, I know how to quote all these verses, and I know, so I've got the, I'm qualified. It's not like that. Of course, we can learn many verses and all these things in the service of the Lord, but that is an attempt to try to worship something wonderful and remember it. That is our practicing life and trying to offer that service. We can't misunderstand these things. The Sahajiyas, the imitationists, think that they are already practicing that and that they are in a position to swim and play there, like they're playing with Krishna. It's all in the imaginary world. But that is destroying the real quality of the thing. So they're pests of the Gaudiya Vaishnava society. Their behavior is like the behavior of a pest. of like a mosquito, a disturbance. It is not so cheap. And the outer practices of those higher things have been discouraged by our Guru Maharaj in the strongest terms. In other words, condemned. We should not consider Radha Kunda or Vrindavan as a whole to be of physical utility. Radha Pandan Kita Dama Vrindavana Jaranama. Which place is known as Vrindavan? The place of Radharani's footsteps. That conception that the holy lotus feet, not even the lotus feet of Radharani, but the footsteps, the footprints, you could say. We are trying to aspire to, not to aspire to be there or anything like that, but to have proper regard. Some kind of proper regard for such a thing. People have a very vague understanding and conception of God at best. A misconception of the Sahajas is way worse than some vague kind of conception that is given in most of the scriptures of the world, including the Veda. For most of the Veda, it's not super understanding of this Vigyan given by the followers of Mahaprabhu. It's very vague. But at least if it's honest, it has the potential to go forward. But the Sahajas, they think they have something that they don't have. That is detrimental. The conclusion of everything goes to the highest consciousness of spirit as well as service. All the meaning, analysis, and commentary must move toward that one direction. Whatever is to be done, the question is, in whose interest? In other words, why am I doing this? For whom? And that must be in all of our activities. For whom am I doing this? Not the form of the practices, but the object for which they are being done is what will purify us and justify their being done. So we don't want to get caught up in external things. We have to remember, for whom am I doing this? Whose agent are we? Am I my own agency? Have I come out for myself, for my own aggrandizement, for my own purpose? So the purity will be the essence, as Srila Prabhupada said. The purity is the force. So we're always engaged in shushamiksha, means careful self-examination, and not to the detriment of our own progress. We know that we have problems. We know that, but we're not going to discourage ourselves. But we are aware of that and very, very confident that the Lord, as my guardian, will take me through all these things. This is to be considered, that you are working as an agent and not for your own interest, is the first condition. And the second is, whose agent are you? The king's agent or the queen's? In Vrindavan, the queen's agents surpass even the king's agents. And this is Radha Dasya. The king's agent or the queen's? In Vrindavan, the queen's agents surpass even the king's agents. And this is Radha Dasya. So all these things have to be carefully considered. Or we're just going to go on in a vague way. And vague is not good. We should understand everything carefully. Or some wind of some misconception can carry us away. Because we really don't understand the essence of this practice.
Got it.
Once, while our Guru Maharaj was present in Brajamandal, the Dewan of Bharatpur came with his family and circumambulated Radha Kunda. They were lying down, marking the spot where their hands reached, and then lying down again, starting from that spot. And this way, circumambulating Radha Kund one body length at a time. So, like one Dandavat at a time. Paramananda Prabhu, a favorite disciple of Prabhupada, came and very ardently told Prabhupada that Dewan and his family have great regard for Srimati Radharani. They are circumambulating Radha Kunda in such a way. Prabhupada came out from his inner quarters and said, yes, but their angle of vision and our angle of vision about Radha Kund and Radharani are different. So this is a very important point. They have reverence for Krishna, and because Radharani is the favorite of Krishna, they also revere Radharani and her Kunda. Our position is the opposite. Our concern is with Radharani, and because Radharani wants Krishna, so we also want Krishna. We worship Krishna because Krishna is the favorite of Radharani and not otherwise. So this is a very high and fine point. Everyone wants to worship the Lord. So so we'll talk about this for a second. Whoever is pious will want to worship God. Because God is almighty. God has created the world. God is all strength, all knowledge, all, everything. And that attracts us. But the finer and finer relationships with the Lord are revealed by Sanatana Goswami as Sambandha Gyan. But the hidden part, the real beauty is in Vrindavan. And the real highest beauty of that is at Radha Kund, is in Radha Kund, who is non-different from Radharani. So that power and majesty must be surpassed in understanding. Of course, we still think of Krishna that way because that is good for us. And we do know this is true, that all these things are there. But deeper and deeper and deeper is the hidden, who Krishna is at home. That is not to be seen by anyone and everyone. One has to have deep qualification, even to go to the inner family home of an ordinary king. You can't just march in there. You have to have a deeper relationship with the king than the general people have. The general people may revere him if he is that kind of king. But that doesn't mean they can march into his house and sit in the living room in the evening with his family. That requires a deeper relationship, a more confidential relationship. So these are not difficult things to understand. But the Prakrita Sahajis just want to jump in and pretend that they're all these nonsense. They have no, it is the opposite of as we know, Saraswati Thakur said, they are pure non-devotees. Shuddha Bhakta. Not Shuddha Bhakta, but Shuddha Bhakta. Pure non-devotee. Prabhu, what were you going to say?
What would be that factor that deepen the relationship between two.
Humility.
What was that? What was the
What is
question?
that factor that deepen? For example, if that person who's not qualified to sit with the king and dine with his family,
Yeah.
what would that person have to do, or what is that factor that will get him to?
No, he can't do that. It's nothing to do. It is his own heart's affection.
He's asking.
And I know, and dedication. His own heart's affection is what will be there. It's not a doing. That will be superficial. It is his own affection, a different relationship. Okay, so just take a king, for example. The people revere him as their protector, and then he's got those who are his servants, and they have a more confidential relationship. Then there are those who are his friends, and they're like, well, you're putting on a little weight there, George. And he enjoys that more, but they really have that kind of feeling between them. And then he's got his, so Guru Maharaj said, he goes home and the little child takes him by the finger and drags him all around the house. He's helpless. So this is not doing, it's relationship. And the relationship with the Lord, that is not, we can't make that happen anyway, but we are doing our duty, dedicating ourselves to our duty, offering that to the Lord. And the Lord is molding that in his own way and sending the result to you, which will purify your heart. So when we used to read, we have to act without attachment to the result. It was a very difficult thing for me to conceive of because we're trying to do something well. But it means that we're making an offering. To whom, for whom am I doing this? And we're making a little offering. Maybe this is good. Maybe this is not pleasing to you. I don't know. I'm offering this to you. I don't know. And he will bring the result to me. And that result will be something I cannot make happen on my own. It is a dispensation from above. It's something that is coming down in the most magnanimous, affectionate way to adjust me. And I cannot do that adjustment myself. That is not possible for me. I don't know what I'm adjusting to. But that adjustment will show me more of that plane of self-giving, self-sacrifice, actual honesty. We're always trying to look like we're self-sacrificing, but we're not. So we're like street people trying to become honest people. And we don't even know the meaning of that. But the Lord can show us. So it's not a question of doing. It's a question of adjustment. But that must be done through Sharanagati. That offering is made with surrender. I do not know the result of this. What shall I do? This circumstance has come to me. It's not a mistake. It's not something to go crazy about. It has come to me to adjust me. My Lord, I bow down to that circumstance. It has come to me by your grace. Let me see my adjustment and see what shall I do now for you in this circumstance. What is my seva? It's not external, it's an internal adjustment. So seva is an internal thing. It's internal. As Guru Maharaj said, first we must know that I am an agent. And then I have to understand for who, for what agency? Finally, Srimati Radharani. Finally, Guru is representing her. But we're not trying to, climb up into some conception like that. We are worshiping that conception and doing our duty. And understanding also, with proper siddhanta, what is the goal of that? And why is that the goal? Understanding that. We're not walking in the dark in that respect. This understanding can enter into our hearts through sushamiksha, self-examination, and sumedasa, purified intelligence. Purified intelligence is samvit. It is come from realization. And that realization is a descending matter. It's not by I'm so talented, I got this and that. That has nothing to do with it. That may come or may not come. So samvit means seeing truth. It's not an intellectual thing. But we're applying whatever intelligence we have to try to honor that. Just like we're applying whatever talent we have to serve. Whatever we have, we're applying that. But finally, surrender is the seva. Surrender is the approach. And everything we do must be done in that mood. Otherwise, we will just go being battered around by our emotions. This I don't like, I'm going to go crazy. This I like, we're just going to be like a ping pong ball on a ping pong table. So we have to come to the center in all of the aspects of our life. And sushamiksha. Am I being honest right now? Am I trying to look good? Because this is how the whole world looks. The whole world is based on false impressions. Why? Because that's how I can control others. I can exploit them if I make the right impression. All dishonesty. So we are from a bad neighborhood, but that's not being considered now. Mahaprabhu doesn't care where we come from. He can purify anything. The sun can purify anything. Put it in the sun, it will become purified. So we are trying to come under the sun. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pasyanti Suraya Diviva Chakshurattatam. We are under the sun of the Lord. He is always there, always, and we are remembering that. It's not like if I go do something, blah, 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 he's not there anymore. He's always there. So Krishna consciousness. Jai Mahaprabhu Jai 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 Hari Bol. All right. Any other questions? Jai Shishi Upadesamrta ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami ki jai, Shri Sad Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai. Oh, thank you very much. And just when we think we're safe, the environment will come. No, not time to rest yet. I'm coming. And now you look within yourself to see what needs to be adjusted. Not for the faint-hearted. Kurumar says, not for the faint-hearted. Hari Nama Krishnaya Jai Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Paramahamsa Pari Jakacharya. Astateras of Shri Srimati Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Paramahamsa Pari Jakacharya. Astateras of Shri Srimati Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Gurudev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Sadgoswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kundagiri Govardhan Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Tadiya Sakamat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Ki Jai. Kol Kartal Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanand.
Jai Srimati
Jai Gurudev Ki Jai.
We have very special devotees to meet this morning.
Jaya, Dandavat. I mean,
From Gurudev.
oh,
Jaya, transformation.
wow, wonderful. Dandavat, Didi, wonderful.
Bimala Krishna Prabhu too.
Jaya, wonderful.
Dandavat.